Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher and I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm also on a limited budget. So here I try to demystify and break through some of the elitism that surrounds craft beer, and by so doing, hopefully end up with some of the best deals that I possibly can. Well, today's selection is a pretty good deal. It's part of a package deal that I picked up from Liquor Lineup here in Las Vegas. If you're ever in North Las Vegas, check out Liquor Lineup on Losee Road. They got all kinds of great beers and good deals. And they had a deal through Instagram whereby I was able to obtain 15 beers for $55. And in the end, that made each of these beers $3.67. These are some extraordinary beers, as is the case with today's selection. The Galaxy Wandering into the Fog Double IPA from Abomination Brewing Company. And I have to admit, I was not familiar with this brewer prior to checking this out. I have no experience with them. They are a contract brewer. They are distributed by 12%. I'm starting to think that Liquor Lineup has a cooperative relationship, or rather, Liquor Lineup's distributor has a cooperative relationship with 12% Brewing, because that's where the Nightmare Brewing Company has been sending their stuff out of, and apparently Evil Twin too. So if you're an East Coast gypsy or contract brewer, chances are you're being distributed by um, 12%. Anyway, getting back to Abomination and this right here. Now, if you notice Galaxy Wandering into the Fog, okay, I went to the website and it appears as though, even though I can't necessarily find this beer, I did find an Instagram photo on their page um, of several of these beers in different colors. And I guess what the deal is, as I said, this one is Galaxy, but they've got a whole series in which they use a variety of hops, but for each beer, like in this one in particular, they use Galaxy hops. There's another one where they use Simcoe. There's another one where they use, I want to say, Citra, but that's the hop that's basically highlighted and really that's the one that they use the most of, and I think the one that they specifically double dry hop with is the Galaxy. So the whole series is wandering into the fog, but then it's a matter of which particular hop is the beer that you have showcasing. In this particular one, it's Galaxy. This is a double IPA. It has an 8.6 ABV. Typically, American double IPAs come in between 7.5 and 10.0. So it's basically at the kind of lower end of the ABV scale. Has 12 IBUs, which is extremely low for a double IPA. Double IPAs usually come in between 60 and 120 IBUs. And what I think is funny about that is I've had several double IPAs these past few beers. More often than not, what I find down is a very toned down bitterness. So it's supposed to be overly bitter. It's supposed to have, between 60 and 120 for for a double IPA, and yet it seems like every IPA I get, I'm just, I mean, double IPA I get, it's not overly bitter. So I don't know. Anyway, that's the case with that. Um, Amongst the reviewing community, 6 of my friends on Untappd gave this a cumulative score of 4.25. 3,889 of us have given it a cumulative score of 4.21. Beer Advocate had 42 rankings with an average score of 4.1 and an overall score of 91, which on their ranking is outstanding. So, high marks for this beer, and apparently the beer reviewing community is very fond of it. So I think I should crack it open and start drinking. Going to be using my Belgian glass whenever drinking an imperial anything, whether it's an IPA or a stout or a saison or a pilsner. If you have one, always try to use a tulip glass. All right, let's get this bad boy open. I do not have a brewed on, packaged on, or enjoy by date on this can, so considering how few reviews or rankings we have in Untappd and even Beer Advocate, I'm inclined to think that it probably hasn't been out that long. So when a beer hasn't been out that long, you feel fairly good about you're probably drinking something fresh. Okay, this is one of those rare opportunities where the color of the beer on the camera is exactly the same color in real life, and that's groovy. These bubbles are popping right and left. So even though it looks like a nice substantial head, I'm going to describe it as flimsy. I'm going to describe that as, I'd say, medium high carbonation. We got a lot of bubbles going up through there. Seems to be a lot going on. Let me give this a quick beard wipe. Definitely smell hops. Yep, yep. It's what I'm getting more than is anything is the hops, but I'm getting a little bit of the malt profile too. Yeah, there's a sweetness back there that I think is coming from the malt, and I'm getting that. So I love it when the color of the beer actually shows up on camera like it is in real life. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and drink some beer. Cheers. Okay, first impressions. Going to describe that as a medium-low mouth feel. Um, it's very juicy. I mean, I feel like I feel like they refer to it as hop juice or hop resin sometimes. I feel like I just had a big ju glass of hop juice. Not really much in the way of an alcohol burn. Um, Very flavorful though. I like this beer a lot, actually. I think we scored ourselves a pretty decent look, or pretty decent looking, pretty decent tasting. Um, Double IPA here. Very hop forward, but and I hate to keep harping on this, but I'm just going to make a quick point. Apparently, and I've done some home brewing, but not enough to really be that well versed in it. Apparently, you can either extrapolate the bitterness from a hop, or you can really go in and you can get the flavor out of a hop. And these past few beers I've been having lately, I've been noticing brewers have been really trying to get that flavor out of the hop more than the bitterness. And that I would say is the case with this beer. I'm very much tasting hop juice, hop resin, hoppiness, but it's not particularly bitter. I'm a little surprised it's only 12. It does strike me as a little more bitter than that, but 12 just seems kind of like a low IBU count for the bitterness factor. But as I say, it's not overly bitter. If this is not a super bitter beer. This is nice and mellow. It's not a strong alcohol burn. Honestly, I mean, if you can afford it, I paid 367 for this beer, and I think I failed to mention that as I was going through the whole deal and explained that I got 15 beers for 55 bucks. So that equates to $3.67 for each pint can. So that ain't a bad deal at all. Um, but if you can afford this, and you've got a friend you're trying to get turned on to IPAs, I would say do this. I would say grab this, grab as many of these. I would love to try the other varieties of this beer, the Simcoe, the Citra, the oh, I think there's a total of four. I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but pardon me, it is in fact a full series, and I am really, really looking forward to trying more of these beers. Good stuff all around. Um, I think the beer, I think this beer deserves a 4.25, and because it's in a can, it's going to get that extra 0.25. So the overall cumulative score for this beer that I'm going to put on Untapped is 4.5. Yeah, this is a really good beer, and as I said, they are contract brewers, so it's trying to locate it can be very difficult sometimes. Some of those contract breweries, but it's worth the search. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.